Your ex is behind on child support. Can you prevent them from having visitation with your children? Hi, I'm attorney Paul Whalen from Afford Law. At Afford Law, we practice criminal and family law throughout Massachusetts. Our fees are all based on your income. So that means the less you make, the less you have to pay. So let's take a look at visitation, or what's now called parenting time, and how that's connected with child support payments. So sometimes we get a question from clients that say, my ex is behind on the child support. Can I prevent him or her from seeing the children? Or conversely, my ex won't let me see the kids. Can I stop paying child support? Keep this in mind. Those two concepts, child support and visitation or parenting time, are two separate matters. They do not involve each other, they're not dependent on one another. The idea is that your children benefit by having both parents contribute to their upbringing financially, emotionally, psychologically, and so forth. So the parents are obligated to support the children financially. That means that the non-custodial parent generally has to pay the custodial parent child support payments on a weekly or monthly basis. That doesn't qualify that person to have parenting time with their child, because that parenting time is something that the child has as a right, as a birthright to their parents. So you cannot prevent your ex from seeing your children if they're not paying child support. If you do so, you could be held in contempt of court, and that could lead to all kinds of trouble for you. What you should do is, if someone is behind on child support or not paying at all, you need to go into court on a contempt proceeding and go before the judge. And you basically say, hey, judge, this person is ordered to pay X amount of dollars per week. They're not paying anything. They haven't paid anything for a period of time. And I need that, and I want that. I need that to support our child or our children. So it's very important to take that step rather than trying to fix it on your own, or to prevent your children from seeing them, because ultimately the children are the one who would be harmed by such an act, and you don't want to. You don't want your children to suffer because you're having some sort of conflict with your former spouse or with the other parent of the child. Now, let's take a look at it from another point of view. Sometimes people will say, hey, they'll come into the office and say, my ex isn't letting me see my kids. I'm still paying child support. Can I stop paying if I'm not seeing them? The answer to that, again, is no, and basically for the same reason. Those two theories, those two issues are not intertwined. Your responsibility to pay child support is for the children. It's not doesn't go to the parent. And I know it's difficult sometimes because you have to pay the other parent the money. You're not going to give it to the kids because they, obviously the young children can't have money and can't be expected to deal with finances. So you have to pay it to your ex. And sometimes, a lot of times, there's a lot of bitterness between the two parents as a result of the relationship going bad and the divorce process itself. And the last thing you want to be doing is giving money to your ex. But consider that the ex is not the one that's keeping the money. That money is to support the children. So if your ex isn't letting you have your parenting time as ordered by the court, again, the proper remedy for that would be to file a contempt proceeding and go before the judge and let the judge know what's going on. The judge has a number of options to basically influence, squeeze the other person and force them to obey the court's order, because it is a court order. They are legally obligated to do so, and not following the order could have significant consequences for them. So that's the answer to the question as far as preventing someone from seeing your children and child support. Your obligations are your obligations, and as difficult as it can be, and it can be, I understand, we all need to put our children's best interest first. So if you just take a step back and try for a moment to get past the anger and bitterness you may have towards your ex. Put the children first. If you cannot make child support payments, you can also go before the judge and ask for a reduction in child support. Let's say you lose your job. You're still obligated to pay whatever the order was, but now there's been a change in circumstances, and you can go before the judge and ask for a reduction. But you cannot, on your own, stop paying child support, and you cannot, on your own, prevent the other person from having their parenting time with your children. So at Afford Law, we do practice criminal and family law in Massachusetts. Our fees are all based on your income, so the less you make, the less you have to pay. Feel free to visit us at affordlaw.org, and please feel free to book a free virtual appointment with me. I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have about criminal or family law matters in Massachusetts. Because at Afford Law, we're making justice affordable. Thank you.